I just wanted to briefly talk about the M&MWOD prescriptions of cranks and resists and why I think they're very useful. Mostly because it gets you range of motion and it gets you strong in those positions of new range of motion. So let's talk about the couch stretch real quick. So in the context of the couch stretch, when you're in the vertical position, you sort of just open that hip joint, get it fully extended, and then that's the crank. And the resist portion will be squeezing the butt, trying to get those hips more open, breathing on the inhale, getting tight, and exhaling, relaxing. Inhaling, getting tight, exhale, relaxing. That's the resist portion of it. And the overhead band work, or in a door frame extension, what you can do is talking about it real quick, is the crank is just getting full range of motion of that joint, and then the resist is a pulse trying to fight that position, getting strong through it. So the reason why M&MWOD, a lot of the mobility prescriptions are, the positional ones at least, are cranks and resists, because the crank will get full expression of that joint. You get to move that joint through that full range of motion, because when you're in a position all day, usually you're sitting at a desk, internally rotated, pretty gross, hips are closed off, you don't express full range of motion of that joint. So the crank is just getting to that position and sort of being a hello, good morning for the joint of like, this is where you can go, this is the depth, this is how far you should be able to go for that joint. And the resist portion helps you brace, gets you strong in that position. So that resist, for the overhead extension, when you crank it open, your shoulder, you generally tend to be a little bit passive. You're sort of just like, oh goodness, hello, good morning, just trying not to make a bad milk face. But when you add that resistance portion in, it in terms of your nervous system, it primes you to get strong, to get braced. Because if you just crank it open, if you do like that classic hamstring stretch, just touch your toes, you're just telling your muscles, the tissues, soft tissues, to just stretch. But it's not telling it how to get strong and how to utilize that new range of motion. So the pulse helps you brace. Usually it's on an inhale, getting tight, strong, trying to resist that force, resist that extension, just so that your body can start getting prepped to not only receive this new range of motion, but also put weight on top of it. So just a stretch will get you only so far, but the resist portion will help you mentally, proprioceptively get ready to actually start throwing big weights overhead, start opening up that hip in full extension for a clean or snatch. Because if you just stretch it open, it'll get you a little bit, but the resist portion where the real meat happens. So think about that. Think about throwing in a few crank and resists into your day and see how that gets you moving.